Welcome in, guys, and I'm back on the wrestling channel, and I want to talk about this whole thing that came out yesterday. Big Swole speaking out on AEW that she's calling AEW not having diversity and stuff like that. I'll put the article in the description box so you can read it all. But a couple of stuff that she says that she feels like there's no diversity in AEW. She also talks about how there's no writers in AEW, and then there's a lot of people not comfortable with creative freedom. So I'm going to talk about the whole diversity thing. First off, the whole thing about the whole diversity thing. Now you can say that majority of the AEW wrestlers, when they come on TV, are all, especially the black wrestlers, are all heels or portrayed as heels, apart from Jay Lethal and Red Velvet. Like majority of her heels are heel. So she's got maybe a point on that one. She's got a point on that one. For the other thing about diversity, like you've had Sammy Guevara, who's Hispanic. The Lucha Bros. I know that you could maybe she should have said that their booking has been questionable, especially the Lucha Bros, since they've been tag team champions, and booking has been really bad. And then she talks about the whole thing about creative control and stuff, and AEW doesn't have any writers. The whole thing about having creative control, that can be a good thing and a bad thing. The good thing is that you have some of these great talented minds that can create good stuff, and that can come up with great storylines and stuff like that. And then you have some that need writers. Tony Khan, you need writers. You need writers in your in AEW, because you're gonna have some of these wrestlers, because they're going to book themselves like, oh, I should be the main event, I should be the main event guy. You know, the politics going on, saying who's going over, should I go over? And you need a rider, especially I look at people like Jungle Boy needs a rider. I look at somebody like Brian Pillman Jr., Big Swole needs a rider. Shida, what is the obsession with Shida? I don't get this obsession that they have to keep pushing Shida, because I'm not saying she isn't a good wrestler, but what is her character at AEW? This is my problem with AEW, is that the commentators do not do a good job of explaining everybody else's background and characters. Like, for example, Jade Cargill was in a match a few months ago on Rampage, and just recently they started talking about how that she was a single mom, and she was a single mom, and she was a bodybuilder. Like, why would you not say this shit before? Like, all you were saying before is that she's a dominant force, she's had a great rookie year. Talk about her background so people can get emotionally invested in her character. I look at, like, you look at the Lucha Bros, like what is their character? Like, you're not even pushing the Lucha Bros. You should be making those guys the top merch sellers of AEW. Like, those guys and Jurassic Express, you should be selling Mask of Lucha Bros and Jurassic Express, because those three guys are money. Like, could you imagine that you get your demographic up and a kid goes, oh, I want a Luchasaurus mask, I want a Lucha Bros mask. That is going to get more people watching. You're going to get more viewers in. You can focus on getting more, because you've got to think about it. AEW's audience is very male driven. It's very male driven. It's 18 to 49, very heavy male driven audience. And AEW, especially in 2022, this will be your third year being a company, and you've got to think about now that you're on TBS. You're not on TNT anymore, so you're not going to have the whole NBA basket. You're not going to have the whole NBA where the network switches you on days and you cannot control that. What you should be focused on AEW is that you actually start getting 2 million viewers. Tony Khan should sit down with the EVP and say, our target for this year should be 2 million viewers on our Dynamite, and we got to get 1 million viewers every week on Rampage. And maybe my other point is that Rampage needs to move away from this whole Friday night 10-9 Eastern time slot. Now, I know that's not Tony Khan that can do that. That's a network thing, so maybe they can renegotiate some meeting and talk about that, because that's what needs to happen. Because Rampage should be the show that you feature your other storylines that don't get the TV time on Rampage, on Dynamite. And the whole death time slot between 9 and 10 Eastern, that is the time slot of death, because it's a Friday night, people are going out, they don't want to watch wrestling. You've got to get people engaged into watch wrestling on Friday night, especially if they've watched SmackDown for 2 hours on the other network. And then you want them to come to TNT to watch Rampage. You need to find a way to get your audience invested into watching Rampage. Maybe changing nights to maybe a Thursday night, goes 8 p.m. on TNT, and see how that works. And then you have like all these guys and girls are not getting TV time, and you know, Tony Khan speaking out that Big Swole isn't a good wrestler. What was Big Swole? Like, I know a lot of people was on the independents were fans of Big Swole, but that doesn't matter, because the fact what matters is that AEW and should be doing a better job at building their talent up, especially like a Big Swole who's not ready for primetime TV yet. She may have been good on the independent scene, but you're going to a bigger audience now. You're going in front of millions, 2 million viewers. You're getting to like 1 million viewers, and not everybody is going to do the research and watch independent matches because they want to watch wrestling. They don't want to do the research. What the commentators should be doing is actually telling the story and telling them why they deserve this spot, why they deserve to be the top guy or girl. Not this whole thing is, oh well, she was good on this independent show. It doesn't matter. Like, tell the stories better on commentary. Like, you've got commentators that can tell stories. Like, come on. Why you letting your audience research the shit that you did on the independents and you're not telling it better on TV? Like, give some of these guys and girls around, especially like Ashida. She needs a character. Stop having her out there and trying with this whole Serena D feud, because it's fucking bullshit, and end it right now. End this whole thing with Serena D versus Shida. Stop trying to make Shida a big deal when she's not a big deal. Maybe she can be a big deal in a year, 2 years, but she needs some development on growing as a character and becoming better on the mic. Maybe she should go to Impact Wrestling, which I thought would have made sense, because with this whole partnership, wouldn't you want some of your talent going over to TNA, like Brian Pillman Jr. or Ashida, and they can get better? And because you look at it, you're Jericho, but he's not going to be around long term. Punk isn't going to be long term. Same as Adam Cole. So you've got to start building other stars up, and having them stop signing all these other guys from WWE and start focusing on your own product. And for Tony Khan, stop tweeting shit that doesn't matter. Stop tweeting about how Fox is not doing well in the 18 to 49-year-old demographic. They're not targeting 18 to 49-year-olds in the demographic. They're targeting the 50-plus-year-olds. Why the hell would you tweet that shit out?